What's up, folks? This is your favorite sorcerer magician, Aurelius Sopax, with a new video. And once again, I just wanna share something that is going through my mind. As you know, as you probably know, if you have watched my videos, my channel, I rarely plan my videos. I just share what goes on in my mind, and this is, in my opinion, the most authentic way of giving value, right? Because you don't want scripted stuff. Okay, you want somebody who's actually practicing, who's actually growing spiritually, and you want that person to share their insights. Okay, see, I think I'm a little bit controversial when it comes to magic, the magical community, whatever you want to call that, because I rarely give people what they want. I give them what they need. So my answers are usually not what people expect when they ask spiritual questions. Okay. Yes, there will be instances where a spirit is going to fix the problem, okay, or a spell, or whatever else. But usually the problem lies deeper, you see, and specifically if you want to be able to use magic, if you want to be able to work with spirits and to actually spiritually progress, you have to usually look deeper than the surface. Okay. Now, I'm many things. Okay, I'm many things. I am a scientist. Okay, I have a background in actual science, biology. Okay, molecular biology at that. I have. I'm a businessman. I have many businesses. I'm a fighter. I'm a martial artist. I am a palero, right? A tatankisi. I am a ceremonial magician, and much, much more. But what I also did ever since I was 18, I started to study strategic warfare. Okay, and why? Because I realized through the mentoring of a more mature and older person at that time that there is a strategy for anything in life. Whenever you're struggling with something, whenever you can't progress something, you just don't have the necessary strategy to make that happen. Okay, so from the age of 18, I began studying strategies. I began collecting strategies. I have notebook after notebook after notebook filled with these different, uh, you know, ways of thinking or ways of solving different problems. Okay, and I know a lot of people know strategy from out of the realm of business. You know, a lot of people have their own businesses these days. But see, business or strategy applied to business only exists since maybe the Industrial Revolution, somewhere around the 1860s, 1880s. Okay, but warfare, warfare amongst humans, countries, tribes, has been going on ever since mankind was around, right? So the science of strategy can be studied much better if you look at military strategy. Okay, there's much more insight, much more information in in warfare than you would have in any other field when it comes to strategic thinking. Okay, now let's go a level higher. When you, or as I was studying many, many different strategies. A higher insight that I was able to attain was that any field and any area of life cannot impact you in a negative way if you know enough about it, if you have enough information about it, if you understand it well enough. And that literally applies to anything, okay? If there is something in your life, any field, that you don't know enough about, it is causing you problems, for sure, okay? And I'm sure you know something about some area of life, okay? And the more you know about it, the less it's going to cause problems for you. The less you're going to be negatively impacted by it, you see? So, guess what? The same applies to spirituality and magic. Now, one of the big problems is that people come with very little, and usually the information that they have is wrong, okay? So they come with false or very little information at the occult, at magic and witchcraft, okay? Now let me tell you, first of all, magic and witchcraft is something that has to do with your life, 100%, 100%. How? See, we live in a world where the invisible is inhabited, okay? The stuff that we can't see, we have a very, very small spectrum of light that we can actually detect with the physical senses. But beyond that, there's a lot of energy, electromagnetic energy, and there are beings that exist there. Okay? It could be demons, it could be the spirits of the dead, there are so many different types of entities, and they're all out and about doing something in the invisible, okay? And a lot of those, their sole intention and their sole purpose and desire is to cause harm, havoc, anger, strife, fighting amongst people, okay? This is all they do, and this is all they thrive off, okay? And they feed off of that energy. So by being able to generate that energy within you, they feed themselves, and you become their battery, okay? So if you want to talk about magic, if you want to talk about practical spirituality, a spiritual life, it doesn't mean that you go to church once a week and pray. A spiritual life means that you understand that you are a spiritual being. And that is not just a philosophy, that is not just words. There's a concrete, energetic connection to all of that, okay? So your physical body is surrounded by an energy body, okay? And you walk through a spiritual minefield every single day. How many times? How many times did you start your day at home with a calm mind, and then you went outside into a public place and your thoughts began to go downhill, your emotions started to become negatively affected, you know? And, well, for some reason in nature, you will be positively affected. Nature usually calms all of this down, and the energies in nature are usually very beneficial, okay? But any urban environment, any artificial environment, man-made, not knowing about the laws of sacred geometry and whatnot, is an imbalanced energetic environment that just attracts negative entities, okay? So it begins with understanding that, okay? Your negative emotions, your negative feelings when you're out and about dealing with people, your imbalance, feeling affected by the energies around you. This is the result of spirits, okay? So this has a very, very concrete and everyday effect on you, okay? Now you might have wondered where all of that comes from, okay? Now, of course, some people are more sensitive than others to energy, but everybody experiences that to a certain extent, right? Now, if you don't explore your spirituality, if you don't learn practical spirituality, which is magic, witchcraft, learning how to use certain herbs, incenses to cleanse yourself, banishings and all of that, you will suffer from that your entire life. And make no mistake, these things affect you at very, very deep levels. So it will make the difference between you reaching your goals and you not reaching your goals. Okay. See, this knowledge has been lost in, let's call it, modern society. It has been lost and people are suffering for it. How many people are on medication? Now, of course, diet and all this other stuff plays a role too. But why are people trying to numb themselves so much? Why are people on medication so much? Why are people living in a frustrated way, you see? Why are they doing that? It is because they don't understand their own themselves. They don't understand their own spiritual nature, which is what they actually are. Okay. Of course, people are being trained to chase after money. Okay. Now, this is fine, but I mean, don't become a materialist. Those are just objects, and it's not going to change anything about your experience of life. Your car is not going to change how you experience life. So the bottom line is this: learn the most you can about any subject of life. Okay. And as you do that, your problems with that area of life are going to diminish. They're going to go back. They're going to decrease. And if you learn enough about it, you're actually going to be able to dominate that area of life. And once again, when it comes to witchcraft, the superficial information will be, oh, it's about spirits, it's about worshiping demons, it's about casting spells on people. But see, if you don't have this foundation, this basis of being able to deal with your own energy, to deal with your own thought, to be able to meditate, to be able to cleanse your own energy, to be able to control where your energies go, you are going to suffer. And nothing that you might want to do with magic is going to help. You're probably not even going to be able to do these things. I mean, a lot of you that are watching this video, I'm sure have read grimoires before. Okay. You've tried to cast a spell. You've tried to evoke this spirit, that spirit, this spirit, that spirit, and you didn't get any results, right? Why? Because you didn't have the foundation. You didn't have the basics. Okay. And I'm not trying to pitch myself here or whatever, but it has to be said. I don't know anyone who gets testimonials like me, who gets testimonials on a consistent basis like me, and who actually gets the job done every single fucking time. And you know why that is? It's because I understand my field and I understand the basics of what I do. And that gives me the ability to consistently deliver. It's not hard anymore when you understand what you're doing, you see. When you understand what you're doing, you can work it like a process. And magic is nothing but a process, just like everything else in life. Okay, let that sink in. Everything else in life, everything in life is a process, including yourself. You are a process. So, this is my message. Take care of your spirituality, okay? And the question is, why am I even doing these videos? Why am I doing this? Because I wouldn't have to. I don't have to do these videos. I don't have to do anything about the Grail. I don't have to do any of this. But what you also learn and what you also understand as a spiritual being is that you are part of a greater whole. So you have a purpose in this greater whole. You have a purpose in this life. And my purpose happens to be to teach people about spirituality. Okay? I have everything that I need, everything that I want in my life. But my purpose, what I need to do is to share and change people's lives through spirituality and teach them how they can do the same so that we all might overcome our common enemy. Let's face it, all of us, as we're living on this planet, we have a common enemy, which is suffering, human unhappiness. That's part of being human. Okay? And even though it's never going to stop, it is our job and our responsibility to use spirituality to uplift ourselves and then to help others do the same so that we might all grow. Okay? Now, this is not some hippie philosophy that I'm giving you here. Okay? And it is not that I'm not a black magician anymore. Okay? I mean, see, being on a left-hand path doesn't mean that you're just evil for no reason. Being on a left-hand path means that you find your own truth, you see. And believe it or not, once you find your own truths, very, very often they line up and overlap with ancient teachings. Okay? But before that, you will have to search. So I'll wrap it up here. And see you next video. Peace.